Hey, good morning, folks. Lester here. Uh, I have not taken an anxiety pill in a couple of days because those are my prescription says as needed. But I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and just tell you right now that I have anxiety, and there's a few people who are not making it better. So I'm so blessed. And do not start commenting saying, ignore the haters, ignore the haters. Don't do that today. I want to actually share some fun stuff. This may be the funnest live that you've been a part of in a long time. I would like you to stick around. Hey, Facebook is here early. Wow, that was fast for Facebook. Hey, Facebook, welcome. Good morning. We're just getting started, and Facebook jumped in right away. I've said it before, and so I know I'm like a broken record. Sometimes I repeat myself a lot when I say that YouTube gets an early notification that, hey, so and so is going live, and that gives them time to get themselves situated, grab their cup of coffee or whatever they're doing, and get ready. As a matter of fact, I can already read the comments from YouTubers before I even start the live, which is pretty neat. But then Facebook doesn't get notified until you actually start the live. I don't know how that works. I think it's the same for anyone that uses this particular app that I use. But I really like this app. It helps me do a lot of things that I couldn't do before. And I think that you guys would agree that the lives have become better since they've become more interactive. When I say interactive, when we can bring people on, maybe a special guest like we had Mr. Rick yesterday, Rick Gore from Think Like a Horse. We've had tons of folks join us from everyday people like you guys who've come on to share your story. And I love that. Man, I love that. But today, I want to start off with some really good news and show y'all some really awesome things. And then we're going to have a little fun when I show you a social experiment that I did using you as my guinea pigs. Oh boy. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. So, who likes social experiments, especially when you did not even know that you were a part of it? That happens sometimes. And I'm not here to hurt anyone's feelings or embarrass anybody because that's not what I'm here for. But we do live in a glass house. When you put yourself out onto social media, you in fact you they say you live in a glass house. That means you allow the whole world to have a peek into your inner life, and they can sometimes tear you apart, and people can be quite brutal. But I realized something. If you put yourself in a comment where everyone can see, then you also put yourself into that glass house. And so today I want to share some comments, and we're going to talk about them a little bit. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I really am excited about today's live. I was going to wait a couple of minutes and let it grow up to its normal. We have our average size of live. And I know I'm coming to you earlier than I normally do. It's before noon. It's just because this is where I found my break. This is where I found my morning break. Let me tell you what I've done this morning, just to kind of give you a heads up on what my weekend looks like. So, we don't have Jake or Ben, neither one come by the sanctuary on the weekends. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is just me and Jamie, and that's fine. We spend a lot more time here because obviously chores need to be done, waters need to be filled, packages have to be delivered or picked up and brought up, opened up. And those are very busy days trying to literally on your own manage both properties. Jamie and I will oftentimes kind of like divide and conquer is what we always joke. But we normally find ourselves back together at night, which is important. We watch our movie, have our normal routine, and we also have our coffee in the morning. And today was no different. Jamie and I woke up at Longhorn Lester's. We had a couple of cups of coffee. I did my morning chores over at Longhorn Lester's, and then I headed home to I'm a Survivor, where I went out also, did a couple of things around here, the morning chores, And so this is my morning break. This is when I find myself with my morning break. So it's earlier than normal, but it's because the weekend. So I want to show you, first of all, something that I discovered this morning. So a couple of cute videos. I'll go over here first. Oh, this is awesome. Watch this. Waylon, I see y'all getting. Oh, please. It doesn't look like you're too miserable. Nope. I see you, Waylon. I see y'all getting cozy. They were sleeping there when I pulled up. They're doing really good. Baby, I did not bring a snack or anything. I just came out to see a video of you and him laying together. They were laying. I do love you so much, though. Is there any way I can get some love without having feed in my hand? She's thinking seriously, about it. Is there any way I can get some loving without having feed in my hand? That's not going to happen, is it? I'm sitting down low. I'm getting down on your level, baby. Look, they all want loving. They all want some loving without any feed. Look at Voodoo. He wants his hiney scratched. Please, oh, please, baby. She was right there, y'all. How about 2 more steps? I'll take a step towards you while you're not looking. Come here. Come here, my beautiful. Come here, my beautiful. Oh, baby, it's Daddy. There she goes. There, see? See? You're a good girl. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. Yes, you are. I love you so much. Thank you for being good to Waylon. Thank you for being a really sweet girl to Waylon. She's licking my phone. Thank you for being so good to Waylon. Waylon, come over here. Waylon. All right, so let me stop that one. That was a really neat sight to see when I pulled up this morning. Waylon and Jolene were huddled together. They hadn't gotten up for the day yet. It was early. It was probably 8:30 or so, and they're still snuggled up side by side right there in the pasture. And that was a really neat sight to see. You know, I really do want them to bond. We did talk to Rick yesterday, and I know there was a lot of discussion and differences of opinion is what I like to think, because I read the comments when the live was over, and there were a lot of folks that thought that, you know what, there's some truth to what Rick says. And a lot of folks says, Lester, no, you don't allow that little guy to be bullied. And so we kind of like, Rick and I agreed. And I think that most of you agreed with us that we're going to give Waylon at least a week or two to adjust, to transition and be weaned from mom, stop having that dependency on mama's milk. Make sure he's fully adjusted to the grains, the grass, the hay, the alfalfa, the things that he has, you know, to sustain himself here. Get himself used to the smells and the sounds of I'm a survivor. And he has a partner to do that with. He has Jolene, who does not pick on him unless the other calves are around. So we will give him those couple of weeks to get himself adjusted. And then we're going to go ahead and open the pasture up and let them to go back with the other cows. Now, I'm certain that like you all know, there's going to be a little bit of bullying at first. But I also think, and I agree with Mr. Rick, guys, I do. I agree with Mr. Rick. And I agree with a world-renowned scientist, I'll tell you about in a little bit, who say that with humans and with animals, when we feel dejected or embarrassed, then we do a little bit of a certain portion of our brain will kind of diminish in size. And that's what gives us that depressed, our shoulders slump, our heads are down, the type of shame that we go through. But when you get a success in life, when you win, all of a sudden that same part of your brain begins to develop and grow. And like Rick was talking about in the animal kingdom, especially in the wild, what has to happen, it's true, it's what has to happen is everybody has to find their way, their place on that pecking order. And sometimes that means that some will go lower, some will go higher. But as the herd bull, as our future leader of the herd of cows here at I'm a Survivor, we need Waylon to eventually win. The first victory he'll win is over Jolene. He'll eventually be able to realize that, you know what, I'm growing stronger, I'm getting bigger. The testosterone is going to allow me to move up in that hierarchy, and that will begin to gain his confidence. And we need that confidence. Once we go out into the pasture, he's probably going to still get picked on by Santoro for a while, but he'll eventually realize that, you know what, I beat Jolene. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my place above Annabelle. And he will. He'll eventually take his place above Annabelle. And I don't know if he'll ever get a chance to decide the hierarchy between he and Santoro, because they will not be in the same pasture long enough. As soon as we get Jake's pastures all done, they'll be separated. But at least what he will learn as he goes around with the donkeys, with the horses, and with other animals, he'll learn his place. And so in saying so, he needs that to develop, truly develop what it's going to take to be the herd bull, or as Rick often says, the high horse. And every animal species, guys, from lobsters who live in the ocean to any mammal that walks the earth, even us, y'all, sorry to say it, but even us as human beings, there are pecking orders. And we sometimes, of course, we try to evolve and make ourselves better than that. But many of us know where we stand when it comes to relations in our families. Think about that for a minute. We know where we stand when it comes to co-workers. We know where we stand when it comes to any relationship that you're in, with however many people you're involved in. How about your place at church? How many of y'all feel like you are, let's just not go with church part, okay? Anyway, so that was what we discussed yesterday. And man, I was reading all kinds of neat ideas and different things about it. But I think that by and large, most of you guys agreed that Waylon needs time to adjust. By me trying to put him into the larger pasture so early on was a mistake. I take responsibility for doing that. I didn't like the fact that I saw what I was seeing. So it only took one day and overnight for me to realize that I'm not going to put Waylon through that. And so the internet was right and Lester was wrong. I don't mind admitting that. And so I made the adjustments, talked to Rick. But like Rick said, if you just leave him with Jolene only, he's never going to have a chance to develop the way he needs to in a herd mentality. And in that herd mentality, that's just the way it is. There has to be, that hierarchy, the hierarchy, I think, is the best way to say it. Okay, so then that was something that I saw over here that I was really happy and proud of. I know for a fact he's eating good. He's getting all the nutrition he needs. He doesn't see Annie and Ernie as a threat. So he's already found out that if I want a drink of water, I'm going to go get a drink of water. And even though Annie may put her head back or her ears go back and she may look like she's about to spit on him, he walks right up and gets his drink of water. And, and so he's already learned a little bit that I was scared of everybody at first, but if I want water, I'll get water. If I want hay, I'll get some hay. If I'm ready to eat, I'll moo, and Dad will come feed me. And that's normally how it works. So I'm really pleased with the way that Waylon is adjusting. And I appreciate, guys, I love talking to Rick. Because he is very insightful, very, very insightful. Okay, so now let me show you what I saw this morning as I was leaving Longhorn Lester's. We got some rain yesterday, which that's really, really great. Watch this. I want you guys to look at all the green winter grass. This place was like a barren desert no more than 2-3 weeks ago.
And I came by and put all this grass
That's
seed
all
out. Got a
new
couple of
grass.
rains. And now look. This is going to keep these guys fed throughout the entire winter. Isn't it crazy? They'll get more nutrition through the winter from the grass than they got the entire summer. That's usually backwards.
So that is backwards. Usually your animals that graze, cows, horses, donkeys, goats, even with foraging, they get more nutrition in the summer months, the spring and summer, and the winters are normally hard. They struggle because there's a lot of those grasses and things will die out, and hay is nowhere near as nutritious as things that are green. And so this year we took and we used quite a bit of money and we bought hundreds, okay, I'll go ahead and say maybe over 1,000 pounds of ryegrass. I've also mixed some clover and other grasses that grow in the winter in the cold months when with the cold soil that are very nutritious for all of the animals that graze, and that includes our ostriches, donkeys, cows, horses, you name it. And so I planted that stuff right before it rained a couple of weeks ago. And that's what you have to do. You put that seed out and you let it grow. Let it, once it gets wet, it will begin to germinate and grow. And that is exactly what it took. And now here we are 2 weeks later, a little bit of cool temperatures, the water, and that place is turning off green. I love it because the cows are not acting hungry. They're actually playing and being very playful. The horses, the donkeys, they're not walking around standing at the fence line, begging you to, pour some feeds out. And then when I do go out and feed the grains, they kind of come up and nibble, but they're not even eating the entire bowl of grains. They're leaving grains left over and they're preferring to go back out and graze because that's what they need, that's what they want. That's what they need. That's what they want. And so it is a real blessing seeing that I put that seed out, and that it has come up, it's grown, it's growing. And then, like I said there at the end, isn't it crazy how these animals here are going to end up getting more nutrition this winter than they got the entire summer? And it's only because of the grass seed and the fact that we're able to afford it, get it put out, having God come by and give us the rains that we needed enough to have it germinate. And now it has a really nice grab on the soil and it's just growing away. And we're very blessed for that. Now, uh, that kind of leads me to the next part of my live this morning. And I'm sitting here with 4,000 people, and it's about to get real. It's about to get real because last night I did a social experiment. Now, I never set out to do a social experiment. I never set out to, I just make videos because that's what I do for a living is I make videos. And it wasn't until I posted a particular video, it was a short reel, a 30-second reel, which is something that you see on Facebook. I think that YouTube has shorts, but Facebook has reels. That's the equivalent. Short little videos. And it happened yesterday when I knew we were going to get rain last night. So I went and bought 600 pounds, y'all. 600 pounds. I'm sorry, 300 pounds 2 weeks ago, 300 pounds yesterday. So a total of 600 pounds of seed that I wanted to spread here at I'm a Survivor. Because don't forget, the alpacas, the goats, the cows, horses, the donkeys, all of those animals have gone through the summer deficient and having to be fed extra foods, extra grains, green hay. All we've been keeping out hay all summer long, and we know we're going to struggle this winter. So I thought that buying that seed was a good investment. We don't always do that. As a matter of fact, in all of our years on social media, this is the first year that we've put out this kind of seed because we need that winter grass to grow. And so I made a video of me putting the grass out, and it was kind of a joke because you all remember last week when LE was here, LE helped me spread that seed. And he came in the house after he finished spreading the 300 pounds, and he goes, "Dad, bad news. The guineas are there. The guineas have already found the seed and they're eating away at it." So yeah, we all had a good laugh, and I'm like, "Oh no, here we go again, the guineas." And man, the guineas have been a topic of discussion. We'll just say a hot topic of discussion for a while. But I made this video and I put it on a reel, and I was reading some of the reactions, and I was like, wow. I mean, really, like, wow. And then I want to, I says, Jamie, I'm going to try something. I'm going to try something and see what happens. Listen, this is going to be fun. Y'all watch this. I'm going to play for you both videos, and I want to share some of the reactions out of them. Here we go.
My seed, get out of my yard, get off.
Here we go.
These guineas are dead to me.
But I can't because all of these sorry-ass little beggars keep coming across the fence. They're eating all of my seeds. Get out of my yard. Get off my property. Get out of my life. You're all dead to me. You little beggars, you're good for nothing. Good for nothing little guinea. My friends, they're good for nothing. Get out of my life, please.
Okay, so in that particular video, it shows me driving around spreading the grass seed. That's the grass seed spreader. And in that, it spreads all that seed around. And I was going through all of the pastures from the littles down to the middle pastures to the back pastures, trying to get that grass seed put out. And of course, like Ellie said last week, out of nowhere, here comes the guineas. Man, they come running. It was like a sprint to get over there. And as a joke, I said, "Get out of here, you little beggars." Now, here my vocabulary. I says, "You good for nothing." I'm saying, "You little beggars, you good for nothing. Get out of my life, and you're dead to me." Those are the 4 words that I used that I'm afraid might have been trigger words. Not necessarily the fact that you love guineas, but I think that those 4 word choices, "you little beggars," "you're dead to me," "get out of my life," "you're good for nothing," I think that those 4 words triggered something inside of some of you. And I don't think there's a person who read the comments, and there was about 800 comments, and over half of those were very, very hateful and mean. And I could not believe all of the comments. And I says, "Jamie, I'm going to try something. I'm going to go make the exact same video. I already have the video. I'm just going to voice over. I'm going to voice over, say the same thing, but in a sweet, fun, cute puppy dog baby voice." Here it goes.
These guineas are.
This is the.
These.
Oh my goodness, you stupid little guineas. You're dead to me. Oh my goodness, look at you eating all my seed, you little munchkies. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Get out of my life. Get out of my life, you little munchkins. Come on, get out of my life, you little munchkins. Shoo now. Go home. Go home. Come on, you guys. You know you're dead to me. Bye.
Okay, so let me go ahead and hide that. So I like seeing all the laughing faces. Listen, guys, you do realize that was the exact same video footage. The exact same video footage. One of them, I just muted my volume and I voiced over a different volume. I voiced over a snippet. So in the original, I'm saying, "Get out of here, you little beggars. You're dead to me. You're good for nothing." And I forgot all what I said. "Get out of my life." But I said it with a little bit of anger in my heart. You could hear it coming through, the anxiety, you guineas. And so when I saw the reactions to that video, I thought I would try something. And so I made the exact same video, kept the exact same footage. Me driving around like a madman, spreading the seed, honking the horn. But instead, I literally talked in my doggy voice. I think that we all have a voice we use with babies or dogs, and it's, oh, coochie, coochie. So instead, I'm like, come here, you little munchkins, you're all dead to me. Get out of my life. You know you guys are good for nothing. And I go by and I make the exact, the video is the same. What you visually saw was the same. The word choices were the same. But there was something about the way I said it in the first video that drew some very harsh reactions, compared to the second video was nothing but positive, uplifting. There was only one lady who commented negatively in both. Listen, you can go check for yourself. You can go see those reels for yourself, and you will see real fast that I don't get it. Why would people be so mad? Why would they be triggered in that first video, and in the second video not say a word, or just completely like, this is hilarious, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen, Lester, your humor is contagious, or whatever you were saying? And so I thought that I would just share a couple of comments, and then I made an observation here. Okay, I made an observation. So I will say this again. Let me just go ahead and put real fast into what one of the commenters say. Now, you know what? I'll just wait. Let me play this video. Let me play this video. Look. All right. So I'm going to pause right here. Now, guys, listen. This is a top fan. I don't really know how someone earns the title top fan, but I'm pretty sure that they must engage a lot with your channel. I don't know exactly how someone can become a top fan, but it says it right there. This Michelle Hurriet is a top fan. And this top fans who must watch and engage in all of my videos says, this is all about revenge towards your dad. You just never stop. Allowing Tex to harm and almost kill Billy is another good example. It's no surprise that your dad hasn't willed the land to you, you mean-spirited turtle killer. Okay, so let me just break this down. What I like to do is kind of like analyze, and break things down. So the guineas, there are two family members who raise guineas, and both groups of guineas are equally guilty of eating my grass seed. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're equally guilty of eating my grass seed and tearing up my yard. So Michelle says, it's not about the fact that you spent $600, Lester. I'm sorry, it's not about the fact that you've lost 600 pounds of feed, Lester. It's not about the fact that you have animals that are going to be depending on that grass to grow come wintertime. It's not the fact that all of your babies are malnourished because they've gone through a really harsh summer. No, it's not about none of that. The fact that you were on your tractor honking and making circles and saying mean things about guineas is about revenge towards your dad. Michelle, I have no animosity towards my dad. Me and my dad we're not on the best of terms, but he's still my dad. And then you say that I allowed Tex to harm and almost kill Billy. Time out. As a top fan, I would have thought that you would have noticed the fence that I built. Not just one fence that I built on my land, I built 2 fences. So I actually built a fence for Pawpaw, and I built a fence for me with a middle buffer zone, a no man's land. So I built 2 fences, 2 fences to make sure that Tex and Billy did not get in there and fight each other. And yet you say allowing Tex. You saw yourself, Tex, literally, if you are a top fan, then you had to have seen the video where Tex would take the gates and literally just push them right over, just push right through them. And so, and then ultimately, there's no surprise that your dad hasn't willed land to you. Michelle, my Uncle Raleigh did not will land to his children either, and he's dead. He died with all of his land in his name. And so now, none of the kids, even to this day, 6 months after he's died, guess what? The kids still have nothing. As a matter of fact, it's all tied up in probate court. And so my dad has also decided not to will off land, not just to me, but not to my brother Daniel, not to my sister Kim, not to my sister Tina, not to any of the grandkids. And so ultimately, my dad will either die and it will all go to probate court, or at some point he will off land. But you say it's no surprise that your dad hasn't willed the land to you. My dad and my uncle, neither one willed off land to anybody. They did not really understand that expression that you give to your children while your hands are warm. You don't wait until your hands are cold. And so ultimately, what I did was went ahead and went and financed my own piece of property the same way Kenny and Karen, my Uncle Raleigh's kids, went off and done. The same way Uncle Dan has gone off, my brother, Uncle Dan, has gone off and bought his own property. And so maybe someday we will end up with some of my dad's land. But at this point, I don't need it. Dan doesn't need it. So I don't understand why that has become the big focal point of all of this. I just don't get it, Michelle. And so the last thing I'll say is, so the last thing, you mean-spirited turtle killer. It is true that I found a turtle over at Longhorn Lester's and I tossed it back down into the water. I threw it further than what many of you thought I should have done. And I came back the next day and repeatedly apologized and says, you know what, I did that. I thought it was funny. I did not realize how it was going to offend and upset you. I never killed a turtle, okay? So I did take a turtle and toss it back into the water from about 10 feet away from the water. So, okay, so pause. Here's my question. Michelle, why are you a top fan? Why would you even watch a channel if in fact you have so much resentment, hate, anger, whatever you want to call it, against the creator of the page? That is what baffles me. That is what baffles me. It seems like you watch the channel just to critique it. It's like you watch the channel just so that you know everything going on so that you can tear it apart. And that's kind of weird. That's just kind of weird. That's like following around a lady or a man at work who you can't stand just to see the kind of nonsense that I don't even know your mindset. I have no idea where that comes from. So I wanted to talk about that one there for a minute. And that right there is weird to me. That's just totally weird to me. Michelle, I want to go ahead and say this, and this is going to probably go over your head. It will probably baffle a lot of folks, but you do know that the best way to hurt a video creator is to not comment, is to not click that hate button, is to not click the reaction button. Because every time that you comment, so here's what happened. You commented, and under your comment had probably 60 other people commented, telling you what a dumbass you are. And so ultimately what that ended up doing was boosting. You boosted you boosted my channel, because what Facebook and YouTube like is interaction, engagement, and that comes from comments and reactions. The little times you click the like, the times that you click the little buttons, that's called engagement. And that's what YouTube and Facebook decide to use when they pass along and recommend more videos. So by you posting this and then this over here, helping you interact is the word that Facebook uses with 60 other people, not only did that kind of embarrass you and put you in a glass house, but it also made it to where the page was boosted even more. And so just a word to the wise. If you don't like a channel, you really should stop watching that channel. And if you are going to watch it anyway, just to spawn and brew more hate and anger, for sure don't say it, because it's going to grab reaction, and that reaction is what Facebook loves. Interaction. So if y'all are messing with Michelle, stop. I want to show you something else. Here's another one. Another top fan. How in the world do you become a top fan if you don't watch video after video after video after video? Not happy with your attitude towards the guineas. You're embarrassing yourself. Stop it, Lester. Uh-oh. So 5 people laughed at you. That's not near as bad as what happened with the other ladies. 5 people laughed at you. Now listen, this is not Lester laughing at you, but this is Lester, who does have an attitude towards his guineas. I'm not embarrassing myself. I will sit here on a live video with 4,000 people watching and say to you right here, here it goes. I do not like guineas. I don't like them. And I would tell you why, but I'm going to say thank you, God, for this next lady who clarifies everything. All right. So this over here is Annette Love McSwain. And she says, I just love comments from people that know nothing about the true situation. Oh, there were about 500 people, Annette, who know nothing about the true situation. He's trying to grow grass so his animals will have food to eat this winter. She puts it in all caps. She puts it in all caps because she knows that our animals have spent the entire summer through a drought, struggling. We've been pouring money into feeds. We had to have gone to buy hay because our own fields did not produce. We've had to invest money in alfalfa grass, alfalfa hay, and to give our animals the nutrition that they need to stay strong and healthy. It has been a hard summer for a lot of people. And then she goes on, if I had spent good money to buy grass seed and worked hard at putting it out, I'd be shooting at this point. Well, as of now, I've not gotten out my BB gun. At this point, I have not got out my BB gun because I understand that was a little bit harsh for some people. And she goes on, until you have walked in people's boots, keep your comments in your pocket. That was kind of cute. And so ultimately, I think that she summed it up just perfectly. Guys, it's hard. It's really, really, really hard. I think this is already going. I'm going to go ahead and take that off now. Listen, that's the way I see it too, is the fact that our animals have struggled and we are a sanctuary. You know, you watch other channels where they're, listen, I mean, just this week, a man's bull died, literally died. You've watched another channel where a bison died. And so many of you who are farmers, even if they're not internet farmers, animals are dying. People are selling their animals by the trailer loads because they cannot keep them alive. Sell them for whatever you can get because we cannot keep them alive. But ultimately, I'm a survivor, and Longhorn Leicesters have, for the most part, kept everyone alive from the drought. We did lose one pig from heat stroke, but everyone else has pretty much survived because it's been valiant efforts. It's taken a lot of money, and this winter is only going to be harder. If we think it's hard now, it's only going to get worse. So the grass seed that we planted at both properties is huge. We need that grass to grow. It has to grow because we cannot afford to continue to pour hay, which is going to become very scarce, alfalfa grass, which is going to be very scarce. The price of these, both of those have gone up, they doubled in price than what they were a couple of months ago. And so we are struggling, y'all. Every farmer out there is struggling, every one of us. And we may not always talk about the struggle because we don't want to scare you. We don't want to make you worry about the babies. We know that this is what farm life is all about. You do the best you can. You spend a lot more money than what you sometimes were willing to or have allotted to spend to do what you have to do to keep animals alive. And in this case, it was a putting grass seed. And so this is the second week in a row where I don't know how many, I'm just going to say a number, 25 guineas from my dad. And I'd say probably 25 guineas from Sister Kim's. When we put that seed out, here they come. It's like two armies converging into one. And they end up eating up most of our seed before it ever has time to germinate and begin to grow. And so it's not I'm not complaining and griping about the amount of money because we've been very blessed that God has blessed us and has given us a platform, Facebook and YouTube, where we can make videos. And so it's always been our goal to give back. And so, but no one is more worried about their animals than this guy, knowing that as a sanctuary, we have to live up to a very high standard. And our animals can't be walking around with their ribs showing. Our animals can't be walking around dying the way other channels' animals have died. Because hey, it's none of my business how they spend their money and why they did not get those animals the proper care. But here we have a much higher standard that we have to keep our animals alive and by any means necessary. Now, do we lose them? Certainly we do. And has it been from parasites? Have it been from predators? Has it been from accidents? Absolutely. But we just can't keep putting out seed to feed the guineas. And so for as many people who keep saying that those guineas are so good, how dare you curse them guineas? They eat ticks. I say, then go eat the ticks, but not my grass seed. Lester, don't you know guineas eat snakes? Then go eat snakes. Lester, guineas are great watchdogs. They'll alert you to danger. Right now, the guineas are my biggest threat, okay? Right now, the guineas are my biggest threat. And so, listen to me. And then, man, I only used those couple of comments. I didn't want to put the entire internet on blast this morning, but I had so many things from Lester, you're disrespectful to your dad. Why don't you tell your dad? Guys, do you think my dad doesn't know? Do you think that Sister Kim doesn't know what a nuisance the guineas have become to everybody? And so ultimately, I'm not going to go shoot and kill their guineas. I'm not going to go put those guineas in cages. That's not my job. But the guineas are an issue, and we're not going to get grass to grow around here until we can find a way to contain the guineas. And so I just don't know how to do it. I can't stand here all day with my salt gun. The lady who sent me the salt pump salt shooter. I can't patrol back and forth all day. I just need that grass to grow. And then for those who are going to say, well, I bet those chickens eat some. Yes, they do. But those chickens are also our chickens that produce here for us. And so, and the chickens also eat here around, but our chickens we feed. And so the chickens don't have the tenacity. They don't have the hunger to run to other people's properties and eat up their grass seed. But if they did, then it's the owner's responsibility to take those animals and keep them out of their neighbors' properties. Anyway, there's my son, Ellie. Oh my God, here comes Ellie and Jamie getting home at the same time. Well, hello. I am making a video. You want to join me, Ellie? Sure. So, hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Ellie has come over to help me do some tractor work this morning, and he just happened to catch me in a live. It's about to end. I've been on for 46 minutes already, but I do want to say one last thing before I leave you. Don't forget that tomorrow, Sunday, is going to be Team 3 tomorrow, and we will play Team 3. Now, you all know that what we've been doing as part of our paying our blessing forward is giving back to small channels that would like to find a way to get themselves, numbers, views, subscribers, followers, whatever it takes to help their channels grow. And so a way that Jamie and I have given back is we met some of these particular people at the Creators Conference, and small channels that we thought had really neat channels that had really great content. And so it started with Andale, how we talked about Andale and just her amazing way of sharing just testimony and being very uplifting in her videos. We went from Andale to inviting a couple of teams over. We had Team 1, who was Marcy and Crandall. And I say Team 1 holding up 2 fingers. Team 1, who actually came here, was Marcy and Crandall. And you guys were great to them. Many of y'all have gone to their channels and helped them grow in numbers enough to where now they're actually able to use their videos as a side hustle to make a few dollars to help make ends meet. Why are you laughing?
That's just one of those what the kids say phrases.
Side hustle?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm pretty hip. Anyway, it was cringe watching teams. Another kid phrase. I get kid phrases from Lex. So then a couple of weeks later, we had Team 2 come out, which was Angie and Wes. And what they did for us, once again, helped beautify and make I'm a Survivor Sanctuary even bigger and better and stronger than what it was before. And so we've helped their channel grow to where now Wes and Angie have gotten enough subscribers to where they can also monetize their videos, so that now Wes can still go to work every day, the same as Crandall. But if they can keep making those videos, they can earn a couple of extra dollars, the same way we all started. And so finally, we did have Team 3 come out. I don't want to give too much away, but I will say there was a lot of whispers in our ears from you all about what we needed here, More than anything else, y'all needed something there. And we found Team 3 to do this for us. So I'm excited for you guys to meet Team 3, excited for you all to see the page, and excited for y'all to hopefully help Team 3 also find success in video creation, so that they can continue to live their lives and go to do their jobs every day, but also use their side hustle to help make ends meet, the same way we all started here on Morrow Hill. It's a blessing being a video creator. What has been your biggest blessing from being a video creator?
There's too many to count, honestly. But you learn a lot about people. I remember I grew up kind of, I'm not gonna lie, spoiled and privileged, and so I
Can you
didn't.
pull this off of me?
Yeah.
My arm's not working.
Is this
That's my bad
This
shoulder.
is the injured one this week.
Yeah. But look what I did. Jamie used that sports tape that you told me about.
Yeah, the KT tape.
It helps a lot.
It numbs everything. It's like icy hot, but on a patch
Yeah.
almost.
All right, keep talking.
No, so it went. You kind of grow up pampered and don't really have a whole lot of empathy. You feel like the world revolves around you or anything, but then it's very humbling because doing the video creating, you meet people from all different walks of life, all different parts of the world, and you kind of get exposed to truly what reality is really like. And so,
I just had an idea.
what?
I just had an idea.
What?
Please don't leave. I'm going to read you one quick piece of a letter that continues on with what we've talked about today about the PPATs. But then I'm going to invite some of y'all to join us today. Ellie has not had a chance to do this yet.
Oh, yeah.
I've told him about it, but he has not had a chance to see it yet. So let me read you this letter. So this letter comes in the mail, and it says, this is over here at the very top, and it says, you might not want to read my letter out loud before you both see what I have to say. And I'm like, wow, okay, I thank you for the warning. I don't want to embarrass you, lady. I don't want to embarrass me. I don't want to, so I better not read it out loud. So I got it privately and I begin to read. Lester, I'm writing this letter in regards to some of your language. She goes, I watch all of your videos and you say the Lord's name in vain. You say that you love Jesus Christ and you love his Father, God, who created and blesses all things. Yes, I do. I love Jesus and I love his Father, God. But you keep taking both their names in vain, and that's just really wrong of you to do. It is insulting to me and so many others to have that. Maybe you don't even realize that it's what you're doing, but the phrases you use, such as OMG, I do. And she put OMG. Guys, I do. I say OMG. And so when I say OMG, it's just like stomping your toe and you just say things. It's not saying, and I'm being blasphemous to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It's just an expression. But this even gets even worse, guys. Get this. Even when you say, read that, sheesh.
Jeez, Jeez.
So I do often say, sheesh. That's like a Lesterism. But that is absolutely nothing to do with me using the Lord's name in vain. And I'm going to say one thing before I move on. I'm not going to read all 4 pages, but I do believe, ma'am, and I'm not even going to say your name. I believe that the Lord Jesus Christ and his Father God are a lot smarter, and they have a whole lot different critique to use in determining someone's eternal life than what you might. And so I think that if the Lord Jesus and God can't look into Lester's heart and into Lester's soul and decide if Lester's worthy of the kingdom of heaven, but instead they look at the word that Lester said, OMG, or Lester said, sheesh, that's probably not, then I guess in your opinion, I'm bound for bad things in my future. You have anything you want to say about that?
Yeah,
LE is a lot more spiritual. I don't want to say religious. I don't really know if it's religious, but he is more spiritual. So,
well, I was going to say that what she's referring to is one of the 10 commandments, don't take the Lord's name in vain. But another one of the 10 commandments is don't bear false witness. In other words, don't lie. And I guarantee you that her, you, me, everybody else is probably, whether we meant to or not, bear false witness or lied in the past week alone. And so I think a lot of people miss the mark in that they're easy to criticize one thing like that, but they don't realize that they're falling short themselves, even if it's less minor violation or a more major violation is still falling short regardless. And that's where grace comes in. That's the whole point of grace, in my belief and from what I've read.
Yeah. And then I'm going to read the very bottom line of this. And this kind of is embarrassing. Ellie can read with me if he wants to. Um, hold on. You both have been blessed so much, and you need to show that and say how you are. So I think I do this in every video. I always thank you. I always let you know that we would not be who we are without you. A part of paying our blessing forward is the fact that, well, here's an example. Team 3 comes tomorrow. Team 3 was a small channel that could not get his foot in the door, if you will. And so by us inviting him out, using our blessing to pay for him to fly out, using our blessing to pay for materials, using our blessing to pay him a stipend or contractual labor for the work that he did, for us to use our blessing to promote his page on our channel, my friend, ma'am, that is paying a blessing forward. And that is what we're exactly doing every time we do this. And so I'm going to pay another blessing forward right now and give some people a chance to share your story and share your testimony. Now, Ellie, this is kind of fast paced, okay?
Okay.
But it's a lot of fun. So here's what I'm going to do, my friends. I'm going to put the invite link on the bottom, the way we've done a few times before. And remember, it's only going to allow so many people to join in. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's very unlikely that I'll be able to talk to everybody. Now, Ellie can stay here as long as he wants to. Where did it go? Ellie can stay here as long as he wants to. So that right there is what you have to type into your browser.
I feel like that was intentional.
What did it say?
He is without sin cast the first stone.
He who is without, I did not do it intentional. Okay. So Ellie, here's our first person who wants to join us. Amy.
Majestic.
Oh my God, that actually worked.
How fast? We were fast, weren't we?
Yeah. Oh my God, I was literally just laying in bed and I thought, oh, I best sit up.
She's not from America.
Are you British?
Yes.
I've never had a chance. I've met a lot of people, but I've never had a chance to chit chat with anyone from the UK. Tell us all about you, please.
It's awkward. Bear with me. I am a mum to this gorgeous boy just here.
Yeah.
Who loves his Xbox.
Of course. How old is he?
He's gonna be 11 next week.
11.
What game is he playing?
Do you want to speak? Too shy.
He's too shy. But what game is he playing? That's what I was curious about.
Have you heard of Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Oh my yes, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He gets really shy, bless him.
So what's your son's name? Does he want to tell us his name? Nope, he's not going to talk.
No, okay. James.
James, nice to meet you, James. And you're Amy?
Yeah, Amy.
So James and Amy. Amy, I'm really curious about something.
Yeah.
How in the world did someone as far away, I mean, you're across the big pond, as you guys say, how did you hear about this small farm here in Texas? Do you remember?
I think it was a suggestion, and I think it was, which one was it? Well, I think there was two actually that I saw. Run Maggie Run.
Oh,
and then you playing with Ringo with your helmet on. Yeah.
Poor Ringo. Yeah, I told the guy a couple of days ago he's getting too old for that. I did put my helmet on recently and tried to play with him, and he just doesn't have the same fight. He's just like, Dad, I don't want to do that. So yeah, well, that's beautiful. And tell us about what you do. What does your life consist of?
So I manage a family photography studio.
Okay.
So, which is always great fun, and I always want to show people those pictures of, like, say, when you get that perfect image of, like, say, the baby being sick, just about to be like sick on the mum or dad, and everyone wants to go for those perfect pictures.
Yeah.
But so many parents say, "Oh God, I didn't know it was going to be like this," and I'm like, "It's normal, honestly."
Uh-huh.
So
Well,
yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, a lot of people, I mean, there is an art in photography. There is a true art in photography. And is that something that you were born with? Did you know early on that you have a gift in photography? Or did you just kind of like, I kind of like taking pictures, and you learned about it from some school or some class?
yeah. So I was in university at the time doing business studies, and I had to get a year's worth of work experience under my belt. So I just went
Uh-huh.
out and I actually got into it through doing the business side of
Okay.
running that business. And then the owner thought, oh well, you're quite good with people, so that's part of it as well. So
Okay.
yeah, and then I just tried my hand, and yeah, quite good at it.
Well, can I ask you a sort of a personal question?
Go for it.
I really do feel that by and large, most of the folks that follow our channel, I always say this, are all survivors of something. They've all overcome something. And that, I think, in itself is the glue that bonds most of us together and brings us back. Would you say there's anything in your life that you would mind talking about, or at least sharing, that kind of, what are you a survivor of? What?
Well, at the moment, I'm also so my mum's really ill.
Okay.
So I care for her quite a lot. And it's both physical and mental. And also I've got my own mental health issues. So that's one of the things that actually drew me. Because I think it was the same year in 2017. Obviously, you had Harvey.
Yes.
And I just had the world's biggest breakdown, to the point of I literally just walked out of everything. I grabbed my son and got in my car.
And just drove.
Yeah.
Left.
And I was just like, I need help.
I think that we've all been to points in our life like that. Of course, I know I have.
Yeah.
And I believe my son would admit there were times in his life where he just threw his hands up and says, what now? And we've been blessed to have sometimes people. And in my case, it was you people, these people over here that came to my rescue and saved me and pulled me out of a really dark place. And even today, it's these people, even the ones that I talked about earlier with and send sometimes the mean comments. You people are people, and I feel like they go through hard times and stuff. But listen, I know that I'm not as big as Ellie is on prayer, but we're going to keep your mom in our thoughts and our prayers. And I'm seeing in the comments here, there are a lot of folks who are saying they're going to put your mom in their prayers. I hope that whatever's going on with her, whatever ails her, you can find a solution for. And at some point she can find peace. So
yeah, we've got a good plan in place. So I'm going to be moving. I'm giving up my house to move in with her.
Oh, okay.
So a bit easier, because that's one thing, is trying to find the right support. People say,
would you say that your mom is also one of your best friends? Maybe. Oh,
yeah.
That's the thing that's so special about moms. That a lot of women, I think, their moms are their best of friends, and their moms are the most loyal friends, and the one friend that has never, betrayed them. And so it's hard. I think it's harder on moms. I'm sorry, it's harder on women to lose a mom. This is going to sound bad, but it is. I think it's harder on women when they lose a mom than it is to lose a son, to lose a mom. It's hard either way. Obviously, you lose your mother. But just from people I've spoken to, and then the relationships that I know that my mom has with my sisters, I know that's going to be just life-changing for them. So I bless you for what you're doing, and you're going to change your entire life. And you might say start over to make sure that your mom is well kept and well taken care of. And I hope that all works out okay for you guys.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you.
Well, I think that we're going to go ahead and let you go. I want to say it's a pleasure meeting you. And can I ask you one favor?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you could say that I say, but could you do it in your beautiful and amazing accent?
Oh, I'm terrible terrible at copying things. I
How
can't
about
do
this?
it.
How about this? How about this? Get out of here, you blasted little beggars. And that's the way I talk to the guineas. Just get out of here, you beggars. And say you're dead to me. But say it in a British accent. You
Oh,
can do it, Amy. You can do it.
Oh no, see, I'm going all hot and flustered. I mean, I'm even surprised I did this. I tried to do this the other day, and then I got on, then I quickly cut off because I was like the anxiety.
You chickened out.
Yeah, absolutely. I even said it, but loads of people in the comments were like, "Don't worry, maybe another time." So they're really supportive, which was good.
They are very supportive. We have the best support group out there, and all these folks. And listen, well, it was nice talking to you. It was a pleasure, and you guys enjoy your Call of Duty.
Yeah, James definitely will.
All right. Bye, James, and bye, Amy.
You're gonna say bye, James?
See y'all later.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.
Have fun. All right. So how was that?
That was cool.
That's entertaining. I love doing that.
There was something that she said at the beginning. I forgot exactly how she put it. I think it was with her photography. She was talking about how people can actually appreciate the imperfections in things instead of it always having to be spick span perfect. And that reminds me of something that we talked about last week. Do you remember how we were just kind of sitting there reminiscing on the farm and stuff, and how all the other pages out there like pride themselves on perfection and doing everything by the book? But the reason that people appreciate us and that we stand out is because we embrace that we're not perfect. Well, I mean, what kind of ragtag operation as a farmer driving a tractor standing up like this right here and stuff like that?
I think that there's a lot of truth
People
to that.
tripping and falling over their animals.
Yeah, so that is true, Ellie. Thank you. So, I mean, you weren't here for my entire life, but I kind of got onto a little bit of a negative rant, if you will, talking about some of the negativity. But ultimately, I think a lot of the channels that don't show you that side of their lives purposely edit those things out because they want you to think that we're perfect. Not we, but they. And so it's kind of the same way we do on Facebook. You pick and choose what you post. You pick and choose your profile picture. And if you don't like your profile picture, you can put a filter on it to remove wrinkles, to make things change. You can, and if you don't like that, you can put a picture of a bird. And so we can ultimately, when we in social media, we can pick and choose what we allow people to see. And our family has said, you know what, we're going to show it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so there, in that case, there could be some hate that comes from that. But what you're not going to see here on this channel is perfection, because we're not perfect. We make a lot of mistakes. So how about we talk to someone else?
Yeah.
Are you okay with this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Ellie will do anything to get out of work. He come over to do a job, and he's going to say, yeah, Dad, you go ahead and go. I'm just going to sit here and keep talking to people.
I'll be out there in a few minutes.
Okay, here we go. Kevin.
Hello.
Can you hear us?
Oh, yeah.
How you doing, Kevin?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
Where are you at today? What part of the country are you in?
Metamora, Indiana.
Indiana. Okay. Indiana. This is going to sound dumb, but does the Mississippi River run through Indiana?
I don't believe so.
Okay. The reason I'm bringing that up is I was watching the news last night, or it was a little thing on YouTube that talked about the Mississippi River and how low it is right now. And all of these states that use the Mississippi to transport their goods are really struggling right now because the Army Corps of Engineers cannot dredge it enough to keep these barges moving. And so I thought you may be one of those states affected by all of that. So
no.
What do you do, Kevin?
I am disabled.
Okay.
So I just hang out around the house.
Okay. Do you mind? Would you want to tell us what happened? Like, how did you become disabled? Is there something you could talk about, or not necessarily? You don't have to.
COPD is a big problem.
Okay, and so I don't know what that means. I'm ignorant.
It's a breathing issue.
Oh, okay.
A lung issue.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And so do you have to have oxygen nearby?
No, I don't use oxygen.
Okay.
I just have inhalers that I can hit.
Okay.
When I need them.
Makes it tough then getting around if you sometimes find it hard to breathe, obviously.
Right. It's hard to exercise and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So. I don't do much.
No, well, obviously, if you have respiratory issues, it's hard to do anything because you need to have your lungs working properly to do anything.
Oh
So
yeah,
I'm reading in the comments, a lot of folks are saying they also have COPD. They talk about how
yeah.
it sucks. And a lot of things they're saying are, well, they're sending you a lot of love. So that's nice. How did you come across our channel, Kevin?
I believe it was on YouTube.
Okay.
When you came home in Harvey
So you've been here
and
for a
you found
while.
the pig. Oh yeah,
Oh, it's been a long time.
yeah.
Well,
I don't miss an episode. I'll tell you that much.
so do you not comment much? Because I tell you what, I almost never see men commenting.
I say hello from Metamore, Indiana, quite a bit.
Oh, do you? Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I missed them then. Okay. Well, Kevin, we appreciate you coming on and saying hi to us. You have any questions for Kevin?
I love all your videos.
Even the
When you
one
laugh, I laugh. You cry, I cry.
Oh, Kevin, I appreciate that. What that means, Kevin, is that you bought in. It's kind of like the way I associate that is when I'm watching a movie, a Netflix or something with Jamie, or we have regular TV shows that we watch, and over time you buy into characters and you buy into storylines, and so you learn to love. Now, of course, all of theirs is scripted TV shows. But things around the farm are, there's things that happen here that are not always pretty, and things that can sometimes be very upsetting. The loss of Maggie, for example, was the most recent
Oh yeah.
heartbreak, and losing Maggie was just so hard on all of us. Ellie was here the day that we lost Maggie, but you just have to learn that that's just a part of life, and you just try to pick up and move on. Jamie, I don't know if you saw a recent live that I did, but Jamie offered to buy me a dog, another boxer for Christmas. And I asked her not to. I just said, I'm not ready yet, Jamie. I just don't think I'll ever find a Maggie replacement. So I asked her not to. Not yet. I'm just not ready. I'm just going to love Trixie and Fiona and Millie over at the other property, and I'm just going to be okay with that for a while. But I'll tell you, Kevin, and this video has not come out yet, and I'm sorry I'm getting emotional now thinking about it, but do you want to know something crazy? For as many bad habits as Trixie has, and she has a lot of bad habits, she's a bad girl. Do you know that I've noticed that she's been trying to do things and reminding me so much of Maggie? And how crazy is that? And I made a video yesterday where I'm out in the pasture and I'm feeding the animals over at Longhorn Lester's. And I sometimes will take my bucket and I'll flip it over and just sit there and watch. And, I like to watch them eat and see how they get along. And as I'm sitting there watching them, I just felt the dog there at my ankles, and I looked down and I thought it was Maggie. Well, obviously I had to snap it. I was like, wait, that's Trixie. And that's something that Trixie has never done. Trixie's always been bam, 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 like a firecracker, always on the go. And she actually came and she laid beside me the same way Maggie would as I watch the animals or as I do whatever I'm doing. And I thought, wow. And it was just a touching moment. And I even took my camera and says, wow, who does this remind you guys of? And I'm showing them I'm sorry, I said it again, that Trixie's laying there just like Maggie would have, just laying by Daddy's feet. That got me emotional. I'm sorry.
I was fixing to say that Trixie's starting to come around and act a little bit more like Maggie did and getting closer to you guys.
Maybe, yeah. But you know what? She still bites the tires and she still sucks the exhaust.
Yeah. Maybe in time that'll go away.
If I could just cut those bad habits out.
Yeah. You was talking about the rivers and the barges.
Yes, sir.
Our town is a little historical town. I don't know if you've ever heard about the canals that they used to transport on.
Okay.
We have one of those that run through our town.
And they all lead to the Mississippi, right?
No, down the Ohio. This one does.
Ohio. Okay.
Yeah. And they actually had, a while back, they had a boat that was pulled by draft horses.
Yeah.
And that's what is a big attraction down here.
Oh.
And they have a lock, which is where the canal drops
Okay.
So they had to drive the boat in with the water filled up, and then they open gates and the water goes down and the boat goes down to the lower level.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what this town here, and it has an aqueduct. You know what that is? It's a bridge over water.
Okay.
Bridge over another creek with a water bridge.
Okay. Okay.
That is pretty. It's a pretty cool town.
It sounds
have a lot of big attractions and.
Sounds like there's some history to your town. There's been
very much so.
People are asking, is that on the Erie Canal?
No.
No. Okay.
It's just the canal that runs through Metamore, and it actually went down through Cincinnati.
Okay. Well,
so yeah, that's how they transported back in the day.
Okay.
A lot of the goods and stuff.
Gotcha.
So yeah, this is a pretty popular area.
That's neat. Well, hey, we hope that your COPD doesn't act up on you, and you guys can find a way to manage that. I'm hoping that you found the way to manage it best you can.
My doctor's working on it, so.
Okay, well, good. You have someone working on it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a pleasure talking to you, Kevin, and I want to thank you for coming in. It's good to see you.
Tell Jamie I said hello too.
She's over there working. Jamie, Kevin says hello. All right.
You all take care.
All right, brother. Bye
Keep
now.
the videos coming.
Say again. What's coming?
Keep the videos coming.
Oh, for sure. For sure. All right. Bye, buddy. Yeah. All right, Ellie. I will let you choose. I'm going to take a back seat and let you do this. Hold on. I said when I was talking on, me and Lex talked on Thursday. We did a live together like this. And I talked about you and how great of a counselor you are. There was a lady named Wendy, I believe, and she said that she talks to you quite often.
Yeah.
And that you've helped her a whole lot. And I said
that her right there? That person's name.
Oh my God.
That's her right there.
Oh my God. How in the world did that happen? Wendy.
Hi.
You cannot take over all of these. How did you get on again? It only allows 11. How were you one of them?
I was quick to the draw.
Quick to the draw.
They have their second and third devices and just ready on a whim.
Mm-hmm.
This reminds me of back in the old days when the radio station would play a song. The third caller will get whatever, and we'd all be dialing that number and dialing that number, redial, just to have busy signals. So you had that device ready, but you didn't know the code, so you had to see the code and start typing it in immediately to get back in.
That's what I did.
Well, Ellie, I was just talking to you on a couple of nights ago, and I told you that I told him he needs to be a counselor. He has a really unique way of talking to people and not giving people advice necessarily, but just listening. And
that's what I was gonna. Oh my goodness, that's what I was gonna say. I think a lot of it is just listening and being patient before jumping to talk and stuff.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the patience in the listening.
I love talking with Ellie, and we've talked a few times, and I'm always in his corner. So we pray. We've prayed together for each other. So it's been awesome.
Vice versa. Back at you, friend.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay. So I'm just going to put there on the bottom Lee's name of his channel. He's on both YouTube and Facebook, and he's Flip Flop Farmer.
Yep.
And I love the fact that Lee does interact and engage with people, Wendy. That's something that he's always done. Even sometimes here at the house, back when he was still living here a lot, I would hear him sometimes talking at 1, 2, 3 in the morning. And I'm like, he's in there chatting with babes. He's in there chatting with babes. And I would ask him, like, so who you talking to all night? And he goes, different people. And I'm like, oh, you know, he's in there chatting with a bunch of babes. Come to find out, he would talk to people, just not for any other reason than because it gave him comfort to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
And so
he was definitely comforting others. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I'm blessed to have a son that is so loving and kind. And
well, he must have got it from his dad.
Well, I would like to say that, but he did not get his hair from me. That is darn sure. Look at that. I hope you can keep this as long as possible because once it goes fast.
Yes,
Anyway,
it does.
who's that little munchkin beside you?
This is my grandson, my pride and joy.
Okay. What's your name?
Joshua.
Nice to meet you, Joshua. That's actually a name out of the Bible. Did you know that?
Yep, I heard of it.
You heard of the story of Joshua. You know that story?
I think it's like Jesus' name in a different language. Or like a
No, I don't think so.
No.
But was it Joshua the one that blew the trumpet around the walls of Jericho?
Mm-hmm.
Boom! Boom! Give a point to Lester! Yes! I got 1, you got 0. Joshua, that never happens right there. Ellie has read the Bible through and through, and I only know some Bible stories. How did I know that?
Well,
remember it. You just remember well.
Yeah. You did learn something when you were young going to church with mom and dad.
I did. I learned that Bible story. It was in the old flannel board days. You know flannel board?
Oh, yes. I remember that.
Little flannels, they would stick them on there and they'd stick. You don't even know about this. And then they would take little cutouts and they would stick to the flannel board.
In Sunday school.
In Sunday school.
Yes.
Times have changed now. Now it's all interactive. Kids are watching YouTube videos of Bible stories.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. I'm going to make Ellie.
Ellie is right. Jesus equals Yeshua equals Joshua.
Oh, okay. So Debbie says Ellie's right. Hold on, Lester. Give a point to Ellie because Jesus equals Yeshua, which is equal to Joshua. So fine. Okay, fine.
Okay.
What about Jesus, though? Huh?
I don't know.
Debbie, Jesus?
Isn't that Spanish for Jesus?
Yes, it is. All right. Hey, nice seeing you again.
Good to see you guys too.
All right. Bye now. Y'all have a fun weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, Ellie,
right.
I will let you pick somebody because I do got to get some things going.
All right. I'll be out there in a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lester has to get a couple of things going. It was so fun having you guys. I'm going to let Ellie chit chat for a while with you all. And whatever he says bad about me, don't believe it. Don't believe a word he says about me unless it's good. And then you can believe every word of it.
Yeah. You got to have a filter, guys.
Yes. All right, son.
All right.
So whenever you end the stream, they will all still be live down here. So you'll have to end up talking.
You hit add to stream, then the 3 little dots, and then
That's how you go from
next.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. It was nice talking to you. Have a great weekend.
This is an interesting mouse right here. All right. Let's go with. Hello.
Hello. Oh, I'm thrilled.
That's what's up.
Honored.
Oh, as you can tell, my voice is really hoarse, so I'm not going to talk much. But you tell me about yourself. I'll give a little bit of
I've got all red.
different directions you can go. You can either go with the animal approach, so you tell me about who your favorite animal on the farm is and why, or maybe you tell me about what makes you a survivor, or you can talk about both. But the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Thank you, Ellie. My name's Jane, and I live in the UK, as you can tell from the accent, very British accent. I live in south of London, just south of London, 20 miles away.
Britain as well.
Britain, yes, in England, yes.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the UK is England, Britain, Ireland, and Scotland, right? And Wales.
And Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland, and England. So that's the 4 counties. Great Britain is England, Wales, and Scotland.
Oh, okay,
it's different. So we have GB, UK. Very confusing, but
yeah, I didn't know that actually. That's cool.
Yeah, but it does confuse people, even us sometimes. So don't worry about it. And I found I'm a Survivor Sanctuary back in 2018, I think 2017, 2018, when I saw Run Maggie Run, and then I started to investigate. And I thought, wow, that dog can run and jump. She's beautiful. I love Maggie. I loved Maggie. And I loved Annie. I don't have a particular favourite animal that I'm a survivor or Longhorn Leicesters. I just think they're all brilliant and they're cared for so well. And it's so nice to see clean water, fresh food, and the care and attention that they get. It's fabulous. No matter what anybody says, I'm not a farmer. Majority of your viewers are not farmers. We don't know what we're talking about. So your entertainment, it is entertainment and it's educational, which is what I'm here for, to learn things about ostriches and peacocks
Yes.
and the feathers.
Were you here at probably 10 minutes ago and my dad and I were talking about how people appreciate the imperfections in what we do?
Yes,
so
and that's how it should be.
Yeah,
You learn from your mistakes.
I feel like what's special about the imperfections is that, number one, it's relatable. It's what we were saying earlier. But for two, you hit the nail on the head when you said it's entertainment. It's funny seeing someone ride a tractor standing up like that. It's funny seeing people trying to corral their animals, but tipping over, dropping their face in mud and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
And I think it's really brave and a good thing that you show your imperfections and you show the good and the bad and the ugly, obviously. Because it gives people confidence to try things themselves and say, it doesn't matter if you fail. It doesn't matter. Just try everything. And I think it's so nice to see you're so brave to do what you do and show the rest of the world what you're doing. It's fantastic. It really is. I don't have any particular problems in my life. I just thoroughly enjoy what you're presenting to the rest of the world. My husband's had cancer. We've gone through that. I lost my mother a couple of years ago before COVID struck. I was made redundant. Somebody crashed into my car. It's all things that you have to deal with and you get over it and it helps you. But the majority of my life is one fantastic. I love life and I love the world and I don't care if you complain about it. You can complain. I don't mind.
That's a really, really good outlook. I appreciate that. I think that a lot of people might be kind of surprised or confused because you mentioned losing your mother as one of the things that you've gone through, and then you followed it with, but you get over it. And so that was like kind of surprising. And a lot of people may not, and hold on. I was going to say, sorry, that was kind of rude, but a lot of people, so a lot of people may not be of the mindset of you get over something like that. Sometimes you may never get over those kind of things. But at the same time, I also agree with you with how you have I'm not going to sit and sulk and like never move on from it. Like life goes on.
What would your mother say to you if you did that?
There's a whole world of things out here for me to take on. There's still a whole world of people that are counting on me that could use my smile going across the street and stuff like that. And so I know that a lot of people haven't been able to understand whenever I'm so much in that gung-ho, keep moving forward mentality. But that's kind of, and so it's nice to see someone that kind of shares that same mindset.
It's your way of coping with the loss as well, because it's painful, it hurts, but I think, well, what my mother said, if she saw me sitting here feeling sorry for myself, she had a long life. She was nearly 90. She lived her life. She grew up in the East End of London, extremely poor. She'd made a life for herself. She raised 3 children. She worked with my father. And when she was 83, she went to Las Vegas with me. We flew over to Las Vegas and she went, yep, I love coming to Las Vegas. She'd come every other year. So she was that sort of vivacious sort of person. And obviously, as she suffered with COPD, as the previous gentleman did, and eventually it caught up with her. But that's not to say she didn't live her life to the full. And I looked after her in her last months of her life, and I literally moved in with her, as the previous lady from the UK is going to have to do. It is hard work. It is very tiring mentally and physically. But you get over it, and you remember the good times, and you appreciate the bad times and the good times more. It works out.
Perhaps you're right. That is the way that people with our kind of personality would cope with it, is by keeping the pedal to the metal, by continuing to spin those wheels and keep moving forward. And like you said, like your mom wouldn't want to see you idle, or like wouldn't want to see you like not continuing to move forward. So it's the way you do it to honor her as well.
Yeah.
I like that.
And she taught me well, yes. And she realized, she didn't realize, or she realized how lucky she was to get on in the world and do what she did with her life, where so many other people didn't, who came from her background. And she did well. And I'm blessed with reasonably good health, and I'm in my 60s. So yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much for my life. And I don't understand why people complain about the channel. I really don't. Are you a farmer? Do you know? Are you a hobby farmer? I would never criticize somebody else. unless I really did know what I was talking about, and I would suggest and advise, I would not criticize. It's positive. People perform better under positivity, don't they?
It depends. Some people I feel like are fear motivated when it comes to stuff. Were you here when when the lady wrote this letter right here to my dad about him using the Lord's name in vain? Were you here for that part? Like that
No,
was
I missed that bit, but I can imagine. Yes, if it's anything like the previous complaints you've had, or opinions, you're entitled to your opinion, but please don't force your opinion on everybody else. There's a lot
like
of that going on too
to me
much.
that was an example of someone trying to work through fear motivation, and I'm not receptive to that at all. I'm way more receptive. Any sort of leaps and bounds that I've made in my walk with God has been by the opposite. So almost like being encouraged, or like positive. I don't know how to say it. Like being nudged forward in an encouraging and positive way, not being fear motivated. You need to stop doing this or else. That's never worked for me with anything. And so I
To
think
get an animal to do something, you give it positivity, don't you? Give it food,
yeah,
or you give it
that
something
too.
positive.
Yeah.
So
What
I think we
what
can
animal?
change this.
Yeah. What animal are you going to say? You stop doing this or else. If it's anything, if it's anything like Tank, that boxer that we had before Maggie, if it's anything like Tank, you'll tell him no not to do something, and he'll sit there and he'll pee on you. And so you sure that day right there, I learned you sure as heck can't
You learned well there,
try to
Tank, didn't
fear
you?
motivate anybody at all.
Yeah. Will you say hello to the family for me? It's been an honor to watch all the channels, and it's fabulous that the internet exists and we're able to communicate throughout the world, and it's been fabulous. And also during the pandemic, you kept us going. Thank you. I just want to say thank you.
The thanks is to you guys.
And tell Lester I understand his sense of humor. He's wicked.
You have a blessed day. It was nice talking to you.
Thank you. I'm honored. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh man, I don't know how to do this.
Don't know how to do it, do you? Technology. You're young. You should know how to do
the same buttons that he had before. They're not popping up right now. This might work.
Help.
Okay, I think I did it right. My dad's option said to remove guest, and all I had was kick guest, and so I hope kick guest doesn't like do a permanent ban or anything. I just did what was available to me. Yeah, Jane was really smart. That was fun. All right, next up, I kind of want to try to zoom through these a little bit more. Let's try this. Wait. Oh, I got to do this. Okay.
Yay!
Hello.
Hi, Ellie.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Cool.
I'm not totally disappointed, but I'm a little disappointed that Lester left us, but I'll catch him at another day.
Oh, my dad goes live so often. You ain't got to worry about that.
Well, I work during the day, so I can only catch him live on Saturdays and Tuesdays.
Yeah, so I mean, but even then, twice a week is a pretty good window to potentially find them in.
But I'm tickled to talk to you too.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I only go live probably once every 2 or 3 weeks and stuff. So mine are a lot more. So I do want to do more lives on my own, on my personal channel though. So I'm gonna work on that and get to that at some point.
Yeah, if I'm on the internet and I see any of you guys go live, whatever I'm doing gets put next, and I go to the live.
I get that. So tell me about like I kind of maybe the two different directions we can go. A, your favorite animal on the farm, or B, like what makes you a survivor? What are you a survivor of?
A lot of people have big stories. I'm just a survivor of life. I grew up in a family of 10 kids, and we weren't the wealthiest people in town. So you were one of those that weren't looked at as being as important. But, you know, you get through it, and you just go on with life and live. But I don't, I wouldn't say that I really have survived any real tragedy. I mean, I've just gone through life. lost both my parents, lost a sister, lost a brother. But
it don't always got to be something that is super catastrophic or something that is like a super big drawn out story. Sometimes it can only take 3 or 4 words to describe the hardship that you had to go through, but even that doesn't make it any less significant, any more painful for you, and it doesn't make you any more of a warrior and survivor for getting through it. Sometimes the simple things are more relatable to people in that, actually.
That's true.
So, yeah. Who's your favorite animal on the farm? And okay, before you may not have a favorite, kind of like how a parent doesn't have a favorite.
Yeah.
They love all their kids the same. Maybe you have one that you can relate to the most, or one that reminds you of yourself in a way. That's probably a distinction that parents can have for their kids, I think. So maybe answer it in that way if you don't have a favorite.
I think I was afraid this question would come up.
I can give you a different one.
No, you're good. I love all the animals. I felt bad for Pebbles when Bam Bam died, broke my heart. I'm a real dog person, and when I watched the video of Maggie, oh God, tears. I was at work trying to hide my face. But I think if I had to relate to one animal, I think it might be Tina, kind of like Lester describes her as the wallflower, kind of sits back, doesn't really.
Just kind of background sits in.
Don't have a lot of people around you. Don't have I moved to a new town right before the pandemic. My brother and sister-in-law live in the same town. I was physical therapist assistant in California for 2 years. I thought, I'll come home and be around family. And then the pandemic hit, and I basically was isolated in my home by myself for like a year and a half. And that's when I found the I'm a Survivor channel. And you guys have made so many channels, I don't have to watch TV anymore. I just watch all you guys all day long in the evenings or on my breaks and at lunch. So you guys I tell somebody, I said, I know more about the Morrows, what's going on in their lives, than I do my own family.
You probably know more about the Morrows than half of the Morrows themselves do, honestly.
That may be true.
Yeah, but I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. Facebook and YouTube, it sounds like it's been coming in clutch for us for real, because like you just said that you found the channels through a recommendation on YouTube or Facebook. Mm-hmm. I guess that's what you meant.
Right. I think it was probably YouTube.
Yeah. And everybody else that we've asked that same question to, some video just randomly popped up and got recommended to them. And so that's like really, we appreciate YouTube and Facebook sort of bridging that gap for us, bringing us together, because it's not like we were going from town to town passing out flyers or having a circus rodeo show of Ringo ramming into our knees or anything.
I love Ringo.
Yeah, it was Facebook and YouTube, like basically putting the word out, putting it out there on y'all's devices at y'all's homes. And so we owe a great deal of credit to them as well.
Yeah, I'm sure it was one of the Dodo videos that popped up, and then I started following I'm a Survivor, and then as everybody added a channel, I started adding them, and so now it's like, it's like there's not a day that goes by that I don't watch everybody, whoever puts out a video that day. Lester on Facebook in the morning at 6, and Paw, they are with me in the morning when I'm getting ready for work, on my way to work.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Teresa.
Well, it's good talking to you. Tell your dad I'm not happy with him right now.
Why?
Because he left me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing. I'll catch him at a later date.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But you hang in there, Ellie. It's I always like your insights on things, and you're a really good guy. You can just tell, that you're a really loving guy, and your dad and mom are lucky to have you.
I'm blessed to have them too. I appreciate it.
And hi, everybody that was on the chat saying, pick Teresa, pick Teresa.
Yeah, they did get my attention. That's why I picked yours, actually. Comments. Yeah. It was good to talk to you, Teresa. You have a blessed rest of your day.
Take care.
All right, bye-bye. All righty, we got 7 more. I don't want to zoom through these necessarily, but I do want to give everybody a chance. But maybe the longer we take, the less of an excuse I'll have to go out there and help my dad. No, I'm kidding. I don't want him to strain his shoulder too much. All right, hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So tell me about yourself, because my voice is starting to go more and more.
I feel you. We've been sick over here. So we're from California in a place called Upland. It's in the Inland Empire. Inland Empire's big. But we're a suburb. I found the channel. I believe it was the video of when they were digging the front pond and your dad got stuck and Jamie had to come and pull him out.
That's a new one. That's a new one.
That was a good one. I loved that video. I found you guys when I was taking care of my mom who had leukemia. Right. Oh, that's my little.
Hi. Hi.
She likes to get in on the videos too.
I know, video bomb.
I like to
draw. Yeah.
I like to draw artists.
That's what's up.
So I've been watching you guys.
After I can draw, my
okay. Thank you, baby. Yes, you like to draw. I watch you guys as often as I possibly can. I try to get through everybody's videos, but sometimes that's hard being mom and taking care of the house. Sadly, I lost my mom in late 2019. She used to love watching the videos with me. Brought her a lot of joy watching you guys when she had moments where she was struggling a lot with being sick. So I'm just really grateful for you guys, and you have definitely helped pick me up on days where that wasn't always the case.
Well, we appreciate it right back. My dad said a little bit ago. You guys, just y'all's love and support in the comments has, in the same way, like lifted up our spirits when we've been down or when we've been sick and or not been feeling well.
And pebbles is what saved me from going all the way into that mud, right?
Yes, that was great. Like I fell in love ever since I saw that video and Jamie saving you.
You know about this where I lost one of them boots. I was gonna my plan was whenever I die, I'm gonna give my boots to my oldest son. And I lost the boot in that mud. It only went up to my ankles or so, my knees maybe, but I couldn't pull myself out, so I had to write "help me" on the side of pebbles. That was a great video. That was an awesome video. Have you ever even seen that? One of my funniest videos of all time. And I took the mud and I wrote "help me" on pebbles and had her run for help.
I'll never forget that. I fell in love with you guys right then and there, and I immediately showed my mom. Like I said, there were a lot of days where you guys brought a smile to our faces when my mom was struggling a lot. And I was really grateful for that because dealing with leukemia was not an easy task for sure.
I'm drawing.
Is your mom still with us?
No, unfortunately, she passed in late 2019.
Okay.
So it's been at least since 2019 I've been watching you guys.
Oh, okay.
And this one's grown up watching you. She loves it. She calls you Uncle Lester.
You call me Uncle Lester?
Yep.
Let me hear you say it.
Uncle Lester.
Oh, that's cute. What is your name?
The color red.
Tell me your name.
Color red?
My name is Magdalena Kinga.
Magdalena Kinga.
That's a beautiful name. I like the color. What color is that, Ellie? Burnt orange?
No, that's like maroon or.
I like this color.
It's like that Aggie red, whatever.
It looks a little reddish.
You like the what?
She said it looks a little reddish.
Yeah, it does look kind of red. It's Dr. Pepper color. That's just my color and my.
I like soda.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite drink. I'm going to go finish my coloring.
Oh, okay. Boy.
Yep. It was nice talking to you. Nice to meet you, Eric.
Thank you. I'm glad I got to see you guys and talk.
Awesome. You have a great day. Bye-bye.
Are you ever coming outside?
I mean, yeah, I was going to finish the rest of them first.
So you do realize that people are still joining in. It never ends.
I thought it kept the 12.
Well, yeah. So it can never be more than 11 plus you at a time.
Oh.
But what happens is, as people are watching it later, when that link pops up, they're going it, so they're still able to join. That is the only downfall to doing this. I don't mean to be disrespectful to anybody who's watching, but the only downfall is that it really does never end. So at some point, you have to actually say something kind and polite and say, "I'm so sorry." But here's what you can do. This is the best thing to do it. So watch this. So say goodbye to the live.
I got one really important thing that I got.
But no one leave yet. I'm going to show y'all something. Don't leave.
Dad, you won't believe what just happened when you were gone.
What?
So there was this lady, Teresa, that I talked to on here.
Teresa Ulenhake?
I don't know, but she was named Teresa. And she said that she really wanted to talk to Lester, and she was so upset that she just missed you.
Oh.
And I said, like, I'm sorry, and like, hopefully you can catch him next time. And normally, this is the craziest part. Normally, when you click to like remove somebody from like the tab down there, it just kind of takes their name out and like it removes them. They can't join back. But for whatever reason, like the buttons didn't pop up right, so I just hit something different, and it like took her off the screen, but it didn't remove her.
Oh, so she's still here.
So she's still right there.
Okay.
And so when you came back and I saw she was still there, I was like, oh my goodness, what a blessing in disguise.
Oh, okay.
So
watch this. So we're gonna end the actual live. I will, but she says like, so everyone who's in the lobby, hold on where you're at. We're gonna end the live. So unfortunately, you can't share your story with the world, not yet. But me and Lee will come by each time and tell all of you. We can talk to everybody. Okay. So for those who watch live, thank you very much. We're blessed to have you, and we really are. You don't know what a blessing it is having friends to go to and talk to and conversate with, and share testimonies with and stuff. So thank you all for that. Don't forget, tomorrow, Sunday, is going to be Team 3. You guys go show Team 3 some love. We'll show you our video part in the morning, or it'll be at 12 noon on YouTube, 5 o'clock in the morning on Facebook. But when you watch it, make sure you go to the link and visit their page, say hi, and thank them for all they've done for us. And so we're going to end the live now, but you guys in the lobby, just hold on, and we will be right back with you, okay? You get it?
Not really.
I'll show you.
I know that somebody's really wanted to talk to you right there.
We will. So say bye to the live.
All right. Bye, guys.